Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here and we have a lot of news to talk about today. So first, there was a report that came out that the sale of the Commanders will likely take place after the Super Bowl within a couple weeks, and Jeff Bezos could make a bid right then. We also have an update on the Washington Commanders offensive coordinator search for Eric Bieniemy and a comment from Ron Rivera about who the QB1 will be for the Commanders. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content on the road to 11,000 subscribers. You're not going to want to miss any of the information in this video, so make sure to stick till the end and hit that like button and that notification bell as well. So it looks like it's trending more and more in the direction that Dan Snyder will fully sell the Washington Commanders, and it's been like that for a while, but now it's kind of getting more and more official. Not totally official yet, but we're getting more and more reports that it will happen soon. So this is from Dov Kleinman, but the report was from Charles Gaspariano from Fox. He says the sale of the Commanders will take place weeks after the Super Bowl and the owners' meeting in March. Sources tell Charles Gaspariano most people in NFL circles think that Amazon owner Jeff Bezos will bid after the initial bids are in and is most capable to purchase the team. And obviously he is the most capable because he is the richest out of anyone that is putting in a bid. He's one of the richest, if not the richest person in the entire world. And then JPA kind of took another piece of the report and says Commander owner Dan Snyder is expected to sell the team a few weeks after the Super Bowl and owners meeting in March per Charles. Amazon CEO and entrepreneur Jeff Bezos expected to make a bid for the team. So I don't know if weeks after the Super Bowl and owners meeting means weeks after the Super Bowl meeting or the Super Bowl, or weeks after the meeting, because I think the meeting is like 3 weeks, a 3-week difference from the owners meeting. So maybe they're saying that it could happen right at the owners meeting, because the Super Bowl is this weekend. So that's February 12th. Yeah, I believe it's February 12th is the date of the Super Bowl. So if it's a few weeks after that, well, it's going to be a month plus until the owners meetings, but who knows? I'm just happy that it's trending more and more towards Dan Snyder selling. And once that is official, that he is 100% selling the majority of the team, then we can worry about really caring about who buys the team. But right now, I'm just happy that Snyder is selling. It looks like he's selling. And they did mention Jeff Bezos. I've talked about this a lot. I know some people hate Bezos, and every time I do one of these videos, I see people, oh, Jeff Bezos will be worse than Dan Snyder. It's not a lot, but it's one or two, and I'm like, okay. I mean, Dan Snyder is arguably the worst owner in NFL history in terms of what he's done to a franchise and just how bad of a person he is, the combination of those two things. I really don't think anyone could be worse for this franchise than someone like Dan Snyder. And I think Jeff Bezos, he knows how to run a business. He's going to he's going to hire the football. Well, we'll see. Whoever the owner is, they're going to likely have to keep Rivera in this regime for this season, and then after the 2023 season, evaluate them, see how they did, and then decide, okay, are we going to bring in a new regime or going to keep this one? If he decides to bring in a new regime, he'll choose those people, choose a GM, and then after that, let the GM choose everyone who he wants and give all the resources he needs he'll give all the resources the GM needs to him, to the coaches, everything like that. Have state-of-the-art practice facilities, everything, a stadium in DC, probably the best stadium in the world or best stadium in the US, because he'll probably spend $10 billion on it, and also taxpayers probably won't have to pay for it as well, which would be another added bonus just because of how rich he is. Who knows? Maybe he'll still try to get the citizens to pay for it with taxes. But Jeff Bezos is the one guy that I want to buy the Commanders. But honestly, anyone at this point is better than Dan Snyder. Anyone is better than Dan Snyder. And so once that happens, I'll be super happy about it. And then we'll see who actually ends up buying the team. Will it be Josh Harris? Will it be Bezos? He definitely has the money. And the question is, does he want it? And it looks like, if he's making a bid, he clearly wants it. And then two, will Dan Snyder sell to him? And that just comes down to how much is Bezos offering. Because if Bezos is offering the most, I'm sure Snyder will sell to him because, if he's offering the most, it's probably by a difference of more than 50 million, something like that. So I think Snyder would probably end up taking it and letting Bezos buy the team from him. It would be, it'd suck for Snyder, probably for him. I mean, not really because he's getting money, but he would probably not feel great about Bezos getting it. But at the same time, he's going to be getting $7 billion or whatever that number is. So he will be quite fine. 100%. He will be fine. So that is kind of the updated Dan Snyder news. Could happen around, I guess my guess is right around owners' meetings. So after the Super Bowl, that next week will kind of be offensive coordinator news for the Commanders. And then after that, it'll be kind of franchise tag / free agency and ownership news for the next month. And then we get into draft stuff. So it's going to be a lot of stuff. And then let's see. Adam Schefter said Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy remains a prime candidate for the offensive coordinator jobs with the Washington Commanders and Baltimore Ravens, per sources. So it looks like we're one of the two finalists for that job, and we've heard Ian Rappaport report it, Kime, a bunch of others, and now Adam Schefter has reported it, and him saying, the Commanders and Ravens makes it seem like maybe he's not going to go back to the Chiefs. So it's really between us two, and the Ravens have, interviewed a lot of guys, and I think at least one guy, maybe two, have gotten second interviews, and Commanders haven't had a second interview with anyone. So I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see. One, because I strongly believe Eric Bieniemy is the Washington Commanders' number one candidate. The Ravens, I don't know. If it's Eric Bieniemy, if it's I think the offensive coordinator from Georgia, Zach Robinson, I don't know. So that'll just be interesting to see right there. You look at the offensive ranks with Eric Bieniemy: first, third, first, fifth, and first. I mean, just absolutely outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Every single year he's been an OC there. They've been a top 5 offense, average about second offense. I mean, there's nothing more you can ask from him. He's done a great job. And now with the Commanders, if he is the offensive coordinator here of the Ravens, he'll have, obviously be calling the plays, and we'll see after that if he's able to get a head coaching job. And if he does get an OC job here with the Ravens and he leaves after a year and becomes a head coach, well, we or the Ravens would be getting 2 third-round picks. So compensatory third-round picks. So just something to keep in mind. And then Ron Rivera announced that, or he was on NFL Network, and he says Sam Howell more than likely will be QB1. So a lot of news today. A lot of news for the Commanders. Just wrapping up all and recapping the news. Sale expected after the Super Bowl and before owners' meetings. Bezos still rumored to bid late. Ron says Howell has a good chance to be QB1, and that is a likely scenario. And we got more reinforcement about the Eric Bieniemy thing. And man, if we could go from Snyder to Bezos and Scott Turner to Eric Bieniemy, that is just what a transformation and what a dream that would be. And there's a realistic shot that happens within the next month. I am super, super excited. Hopefully this happens soon so we can end the suffering of being fans under a terrible, terrible owner in Dan Snyder and go to someone like Jeff Bezos, or honestly, anyone. Anyone is better than, any realistic candidate is better than Dan Snyder. And then the Howell thing, I guess I just read the tweet. I didn't really react to it. Not surprising at all. He's the only quarterback really I guess Wentz is under contract as well, and Jake Fromm is, but they're going to move on from Wentz. Jake Fromm is not the answer. He's not QB2, probably shouldn't even be QB3. So Howell's really the only realistic option on the roster right now, and that's what he's going to say right now. He's not going to be like, oh, we're not, we don't know who our QB1 is, because then, let's say, if he, tries to get a veteran but then doesn't get one and then ends up sticking with Sam Howell, then it's like, okay, he didn't really have much confidence in him. And then also, he's not going to tip his, it probably is going to be the case that we just roll with Howell. But let's say Ron secretly wants to go after a veteran and the new owner says he can or whatever, and he wants to go after whoever. Let's just throw out a name, Derek Carr, but that's probably going to happen earlier than a new owner would come in. But let's just say hypothetically, it doesn't. He wants Carr, and Carr's a free agent. He got cut, and we want to pay a lot of money. And, he's not going to say right now, oh, we want a veteran and not Hal, just because of the scenario where if we don't get the veteran, then he kind of just shows he doesn't have confidence in Hal. But I do think that we're going to stick with Hal, and Hal will be the starting quarterback week 1 for the Washington Commanders. And you know what? I'm fine with that. Is that the best solution? No. But, we really don't have many other options, so it might be the best solution, but it's not like he's not the answer, or at least we don't know if he's the answer. And that's why we're playing him, to see if he potentially could be the answer at quarterback. Really talented guy, good guy, solid leader. I'm excited to see what he can do in 2023 with the Washington Commanders. Saw good things from him in the last week of the season, and let's see how he responds and how he, how hard he works this off season and how he looks in training camp, OTAs, preseason, and then the regular season. I'm excited, guys. Some really, really good news today. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.